Well, good morning. Checking over all my bogey wheels, making sure the oil level is okay. I actually already have done it, so you don't need to worry. And I don't need to show you about it, but today, this 91-foot roller and I are going to go see if we're compatible. And Canadians are burning up. Poor guys. It's gotten to be a every year event for some reason. Never ever had stuff like that years ago, but now we do. It's the new norm. New norm. Look out for my coffee. We made it. I traveled all the way from the farm out west to our farthest away farm, and I got here in one piece. So things are looking up. I'm going to put you guys, these other guys, are those? No, you're all the same guys. I'm going to put you out on the fender and we'll see if we can get this thing unfolded. Well, imagine to my surprise that it said insert SD card. Chet, I'm sure you know what that means. I think I know what it means. It means there's no ability to use that little guy out here to videotape anything. So I'm gonna see if the big coontail, that's why we have the little one, because the coontail likes to get top heavy and, well, you know, then it falls off and we lose you. So this should be gentle. Right? Hold on! Just hold on. Oh, you did good. Just waiting for the outer wheels to fold up. Then I gotta back up a little bit more. There's been better unfolding situations than what I just showed you. So, still waiting. I gotta back up a little bit more. Hit number 3 remote. Slide them locking pins in to make sure that it's engaged and locked tight. There we go. We are good. Now there's dust coming and I left the door open. Okay, backing up a little bit more. Hopefully. Number 3. Push ahead. There they slid in there. Jiggle wiggle a little bit. Give it the jiggle wiggle. Okay, that should do that. Put it in park, and yeah, the pressure switch for the park brake, that decided to have a fit, and we had to unplug it, so now it squeals at us every time that we get out of the seat because it thinks it's not in park. But we got a new one of them at home. I'm gonna get out and check the pins to make sure that they are what they are. I know they are, but I figured, yes, go ahead and squeal at me. I figured you guys just couldn't take it and you wanted to see what pins I was talking about that lock the wings and all together. So here we'll show you. Those things there, powered by the cylinder there, they just slide in and out and lock that wing in tight. I'm back in the seat now, all ready to go. Put her in forward, choose my gear, and now the dreaded part of the whole thing is going around the edge of the field. I'm pretty fussy, all of us are. I want to get right up there because that's where all the bad stuff always happens with the combine heads. Rocks and stuff like to hide up against the edge of the field. We always try to have our rock picker guys go around every field and really do a good job, but every once in a while the digger will sneak one out of the ground and you have that little booby trap set up for you so that well, you know what happens to the bean head and stuff when the rocks get in there and the combine. I am going to take it nice and slow, maybe stick around that. No, I won't tell you how slow I go, because this is one of the first times I've ran this thing, and she's big. She's big. I back into the corners here, trying to make sure that I get every little bit of ground I can, but I just gotta show you. People are not raising wheat anymore out here in this area because it's just not, well, it's recreational fun. But I thought I'd show you how pretty it is. Yeah, I said that word. We used to raise wheat, and now we don't raise wheat. Last time we had a wheat crop was, oh gosh, that's got to be, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. And we were raising it to haul liquid hog manure on, because I've maybe told you guys all this before, but you're gonna have to listen to it again. We combined the wheat, and then we would haul the manure on the wheat and inject it. Worked really good, but then there was a bunch of situations, but we got pretty sick of hauling the manure because, well, anybody that does it knows exactly what you're all involved with, or what's all involved with doing that. Had semi-tankers that we filled at the barn, drove them to the field. Should I be doing this and talking to you people? It's only wheat. It likes to get beat up a little bit. The old timers claim that if you had a bunch of cattle, well, if the cattle got out in your wheat field and stompled around in it, it was actually good for it. It stooled out, which means that it would branch off, and instead of one stem, it would shoot out many stems. I don't know. I would rather not have cattle in my wheat field, so I don't remember ever having that issue. But that's what the old saying is. And oh, back to my manure stuff. Yeah, that's then we offloaded the semi-tankers into the Balzer slurry tank that we had back then. And if you guys would have been around back then, that would have been some video. There was a few accidents where one time Chet got soaked and it just drained out of the semi-tanker, got overfilled, and oh, that's a memory. That is a memory. Well, I better focus around this here edge of the field. We'll talk in a little bit. I know I've been getting a few guys on Instagram wondering what this land roller is. Why do we want a land roll? Well, here's a good example. Small rocks like that, which I don't have a place to put that one's just gonna be part of the field. We do that to protect the bean heads. And even though it is a land roller, when it comes down to stuff like this, I am gonna pick that up. That's too big to. I don't want that in my field, so I'm gonna have to put you down here though, because I'm gonna have to have two hands here. So here we go. Yeah, I know all about my knee. I'm careful. Come along. Just so, I can't believe that magnet actually does fall off when I have all I can do sometimes to get it off. Now we got the next issue of checking. Yeah, the wood ticks are out. You don't want them on you. You know what they do. They're nasty. So getting back to reasons why we land roll, it's to level out the field so the bean head cuts nice. You can get them bottom pods without getting so much dirt in the sample, your grain sample. Corn on corn acres. We choose to take the roller and we roll all of our corn on corn acres, or most of them, depending on different circumstances, but we like to do that. Smash down the root balls, and the planter seems to ride a lot smoother, get a better population, or better, everything's better with a smooth field. So we do that. That's our personal choice. I don't think there's right or wrong, but that's what we do. So that's the reasons of why we choose to land roll. Oh, that was plenty close. I've got a question for somebody about land surveys. How come when I hire a survey to be done, the surveyor comes out and he looks at it and he says, yeah, everything looks good, but in this instance here, where I believe the neighbor, it's getting close, the neighbor sold his pasture ground or non-farmable land into an easement. I don't know what it is. It's I mean, I call it a wetland easement. It might not be that, but it's some sort of an easement. And you can see the issues out there of why it isn't farmed. Some pieces of ground just should never be farmed. But when they done their survey, they came in and took, oh, I don't know, I think they took about 60 feet of land from us, and we kind of asked them, well, what's going on there? Why is that allowed? That property line where the old pasture cattle fence, that's been there for 100 years. Why would you think that the new line, satellite, I suppose, GPS stuff, why could that line move 60 feet? They said, you're gonna gain the land on the other end of the farm. Well, that shows how smart that guy was, because on the other end of the farm, it's only a short little distance, and most of it's all water on the other end of the farm, and so we lost 60 feet of land. I don't know if we should have. I have no idea. What do you do? What do you do? Okay, I thought some of you guys might have questions, which I'm sure you do, because when we first started land rolling, we had all of the typical questions. Isn't it packing the soil? Just can't imagine doing that to your ground and causing hard or a crust if you get a rain and all that. We really have not seen the crusting issue. You can sometimes get, if conditions are right, in a wind. The wind can take and cause some of these things to blow around in road ditches, which you have seen years ago in past videos of us having to burn some road ditches out or some drainage ditches because so many of the corn husks, leaves blow into the ditch, and that is one of the problems that you do have. But you can see how uneven the ground is. Here's the row, and here's the row, 20-inch rows, and then row cleaners. Some guys say, well, you're gonna smoothen off this area and push it and cover up your beans, and then they're gonna get too deep. That is not the way it works. The roller will flatten this down. It'll flatten the high spot down, but it does not do anything really to speak of to the row itself, from what our soils do anyway. So you can see the uneven where it has not been rolled to where it has been rolled, and you can see that the ridge is no longer there. It's leveled out, and the bean row is actually still below. So you are not even getting any compaction from the roller on top of your bean row. It's all just left alone, or whatever you want to call it. And thanks for asking. My knee is really coming around, although I have done very little physical therapy. Well, okay, I've done none in the last 2 weeks because there just is no time. So I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble from the hospital or the PT people. But that's just the way this farming is. When it's go time, it's go time. What else you want to know about the land roller? Gets rid of rocks, and you can imagine how much better job it does combining when you get rid of these ridges and you go right down to the smooth surface. Once again, my opinion, but it's right. One does not really realize how many little stones there are in the soil until you get to listen to the, well, what should we call it? The little drummer boy playing his little drum back there. There are a lot more stones. I'll call them stones because rocks in my mind are, well, there's something that you can pick. These smaller fist-sized things, your life is never going to be long enough to pick all them. So anybody who thinks we don't pick our rock, well, we pick the rock. We just don't pick the stones. And I'm not going to argue about that, stone or rock. Have a good day. If you guys are wondering why we have the summer stuff, I guess that's what we started with and continue to like. They have got a warranty on that frame of that roller, like, well, it's like no other. So if you were curious on why we chose that, where's my auto steer button? It is because what we've had, and well, we did start out with an orange one, which was okay when it was new, but I think I've talked about that too, where the frame did cause some issues. But years ago, that was I think everybody, all the companies were just starting to build rollers, didn't really know how much stress there was on things, and that was what it was. It also worked, but the summers, I guess for us, has been a very, very good machine, and the framework warranty. I'll take any warranty anybody will give me anytime I can get it, if that says enough. I guess that's where I'm at with the choice of color. It is definitely built good. I mean, the drum, that thing is solid. Steer button, and it's definitely working great for us. With the larger size land roller, our old one was an 84 foot. This is a 91, like I mentioned, and you do need a tractor that can manhandle it, because there is a lot of weight back there tossing the guy around. So you do have to resort to a larger frame tractor, which does not bother me, because why pay the same money for a small tractor when you can get the big tractor and you can do anything with it other than cultivate. But I don't cultivate no more, thank the Lord for that, because we are in a rockier area. I am only going not quite 10 miles an hour, but I am eating up about 108 acres an hour. You guys see that tile flag that I just went by? Missed it by 2 feet. I was just lucky. Nothing but luck. So that, I guess, I don't know what else you guys might want to see or talk about, but summer's way to go in our book. And we are rolling these black beans that Brody planted the other day, and wrapping it up another day here. We're out today. You might get done today, other than the potholes and the snow drifts that are in the tree claims and stuff that are weeping out as the snow melts. And you would think the trees could drink more and pull their weight, but They must be all filled up, just like the guy at the bar at midnight. Just can't take one more lick. He's all full. Time to go home. Speaking of which, I'm gonna take you up and show you the fence line situation one more time so you can truly understand what I'm talking about. It's nothing but a land grab. Legalized stealing in situations like this, when you have an established fence line that's been there for 100 years. I don't know. I don't understand it. Somebody explain that to me. Well, we finished her up. I'm gonna, number 3, pulling the pins out. I know you can't see and it's very disappointing. Number 1, raising the wheels. We'll get out for a better view. Just as easy as that. Now I'll show you this fence line situation, because seeing is believing. Hope the wind ain't too bad. The new property line, where they also then fenced us off of the approach, so it cost us a bunch of money to add on. Had to widen the approach from there to there, and you can see the old property line way over here. Very strange, isn't it? Yeah. There you can see the old property line. I don't know why, but that's where the fence was, and now they claim the new property line is way over there. That's more than 50, 60 feet, I think, too. So I don't know. I was told by one surveyor that the old timers, when they done all the surveying with, was it rods, chains? Have to Google that to make sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna say, but rods and chains is how they measured stuff years ago, and they were allowed every so many miles they were allowed to be off 2 chains or something like that, which does count up. But now, lately, say the last 10 years, from what I see, they say evidently that satellite's perfect. Oh yeah, it's a computer. It never makes a mistake, right? I don't know. I question it. I don't know how they're getting away with it, but they are. So if anybody wants that has the ability to give me a true answer, or if I can get my land back, that'd be better yet. I just rolled over, my brother and I just rolled over and done what the Fish and Wildlife wanted us to do, and that was to give them some more land, because they said that's what it needed to be done, or that had to happen. Well, I wish I would have looked into my options a few years ago when they done that, but I'll wait for a response from somebody very much more smarter than I am. Well, we're pulling in another field. This time I get to push the planter guys. Usually I'm always getting pushed while I'm planting. But this time, Brody, I get to push on him a little bit. Ah, the pressure. It's good for a guy to feel the pressure. Come on, hurry up. Keep her going.